Hi guys, good morning or good afternoon, depends on when you're watching this. Today I'm going to do a video on dividing fractions, and of course, this is your one and only math teacher, Mrs. Chaparro.
Look at this dude.
For you, I've included a picture of myself. Look at me. I had to put on some new glasses that I drew on myself. Don't worry about why I drew them on there. Just know that's what I had to do to get get them on my face. So get your notebooks out and your red math book out as well, because we will be working out some problems. I'm trying to shorten my intro, so get your materials out ready to go and hit pause if you must, and let's get started. So 7th graders, in your math notebooks, I need you to find the next available page. I need you to write the date and the page number in and the title of our notes and this example problem. Let me go back. Our title is dividing fractions, and your first problem that we will use to describe how to divide fractions is 1/2 divided by 9/10. So get this into your notebooks and let's figure this out. So as I take notes, remember, I might switch pages, but you keep writing on your page in your notebook. So step 1 is to remember these 3 words. Capital K, and look, I'm making my K big. You need to make your K big also. Keep, change, flip. Make sure you make the letters of these 3 words, the K, the C, and the P big. They are your new BFFs. So here's what you do. Here's what keep, change, flip means to you when dividing fractions. When we divide fractions, we do not divide across like we've been multiplying. We have to use our strategy keep, change, and flip. And here's what that looks like. I'm going to rewrite my problem. Do this with me in your books. And what keep, change, flip means is this. I'm going to get a new color. Red. Keep means we're going to keep the first fraction the same. Change means that we're going to change this division sign. And flip means we're going to turn 9/10 upside down. So if we practice keep, change, flip on our problem, that means that 1/2 stays the same. Change. So let's talk about change real quick. When we say change right here, 7th graders, it means that I change the division sign to a multiplication sign. Yes, I know, how strange, but that's how you do it. And then you focus now on your flip. That means you take 9/10 and you flip it. You put the 10 on top and the 9 on the bottom. This is called the reciprocal, okay? It's much easier to remember keep, change, flip instead of keep, change, reciprocal. When you flip a fraction in math, it is called the reciprocal. It won't be on your test. Just remember keep, change, flip, okay? I'm going to go ahead and switch pages. You're going to keep writing. So step 2. Write this with me. You have 1/2 times 10/9, which you got using keep, change, flip. Now, we use the strategies for multiplication, which is to multiply straight across. So 1 times 10 is, oh, come on, Chaparro. 1 times 10 is 10. Okay, 2 times 9 is 18. Ooh, okay. Step 2 is complete, but we're not done with the process because there's a step 3. Anyone want to guess what it is? Yep, that's right. Simplify.
Boring.
Simplify. That means you have to find the GCF. And when you find the GCF, you divide. So here's your fraction, 10/18. We have to find the GCF of 10 and 18. That means the factors, the numbers you can multiply together to get 10 and 18. So I know 1, 2, 5, 10. On 18, I've got 1, 3, 6. I missed one. I'm going to throw a 2 in there and a 9. Yes, they're out of order. As we know, it just looks better. It's not really important to solving the problem. Now, what is my GCF, folks? That's right. It's the 2. So, as stated, we take that 2 and we divide. So, let's squeeze in the division. So, I have 10/18 divided by 2 on the top. Whatever I do to the top, I must do to the bottom. And we get 10 divided by 2 is 5. And 18 divided by 2 is 9. So our final answer is, you got it right, guys, 5/9. Okay? Now there's one more thing I need to go over with you. Okay? So don't get excited yet. Okay? So let's go to take one more quick note. So I need you to write on your paper this phrase. What if ... Oh, I'm having trouble making dots. What if you had a fraction like, let's see, 5/6 divided by, let's do 2/10. Okay? If you apply our keep, change, flip, you would now get 5/6. We're going to change the division to a multiplication, and we're going to flip 2/10 to 10/2. And then you're going to multiply across. Well, folks, multiply across. Easy. 50/12. Well, what kind of fraction is this? Yep, that's right. It's an improper. When you have an improper, before you can find the GCF, you must what? It starts with an R. Yep, that's right. Regroup. Which means you put the denominator on the outside of the gate. Put the 50 inside. Okay. 12 times what will get you closest to 50 without going over? Well, 12 times 3 is 36. 12 times 4 is 48. So we'll put a 4 up here. We know that 48 is pretty close to 50. Go ahead and subtract that. Okay, you get 2. Remember, folks, what's on top is always our whole number. Okay, our denominator never changes. It was 12 up here. It was 12 up here. So it's going to be 12 in our answer. And what's left over goes on top. So we get 4 and 2/12. Now we take 4 and 2/12 and we find the GCF of 2 and 12. So this is a piece of cake. 2 and 12. So you got 1, 2, 6, and 12 for 12. And you know that your 1 doesn't count, so it has to be 2. And we've been forgetting to put the 4 in that holding cell. I've noticed a lot of you have been forgetting about 4. So here's 4 and 2/12. We're going to divide the top and by 2 and the bottom by 2 because that's what our GCF wants us to do. And it's going to equal 4, and 2 divided by 2 is 1. 12 divided by 2 is 6. Okay, we are now at our simplified form of the fraction. Okay, so this is actually the end of your notes. Okay, right now what I'm going to do is do a few problems in your red math book. So if you need to, hit pause and get your red math book out. Keep your notes available. It's always important to go back to your notes so you know what to do next. And we'll go from there. So hit pause. I'll see you in the red book. Okay, guys. So here we go. As you can see, I've stolen number 1 from the textbook and put it into my video. We want to right away go back to our notes and ask ourselves, what do we do with this? Well, as you know, we're using the strategy keep, whoa, that's a K, keep, change, flip. So let's go ahead and apply that right away. So I'm going to use my book to write in the problem. Keep, change, division goes to multiplication, and flip. Now it's a regular old juicy multiplication fraction problem. Multiply across. You get 2 8s. Well, this 2 8s is just a regular old fraction. It's not improper, so that means right away, according to our strategies, we have to find the GCF of 2 and 8. Well, 2 is easy, 1 and 2. 8 is easy too, 1, 2, 4, 8. And there is a GCF. 1 doesn't count, so it has to be 2. Okay, you're going to take your 2 8s. Yep, that's right. According to our notes, we're going to divide by 2 on the top and the bottom and end up with 1/4. That's your final answer for 1. Okay, make sure you have all this work in your textbook. Here's number 2. Okay, guys, number 2 is super special because it has a fraction that is a mixed number. We did not write this down in our notes. We have to turn this mixed number into an improper fraction before we can do anything. So if you remember, the rule for that was to take 1 times 2, which would be 2, and then add it to our numerator, which is, numerator is 1, so 1 plus 2 is 3. The denominator stays the same, so you get 3/2. Okay, so what that means is we're basically going to replace 1 1/2 with 3/2 divided by 2/3. Now we can go in and apply our strategy of keep, change, flip. When we keep, change, flip it, we end up with 3/2, change the division to multiplication, and flip that second fraction. Now we have a nice juicy fraction that's a nice juicy fraction multiplication problem, that is, where we can multiply straight across. And yes, you are seeing that correctly. It's the same fraction. 3 times 3 is 9. 2 times 2 is 4. Okay, so now we have an improper. we must regroup. That means when we regroup, I'm going to abbreviate that with RG, you put the numerator inside the house, keep it away from those bad people. There's 4 bad people. Let's see, 4 times 2 is 8. That gets you pretty close to 9. Subtract 8, you're left over with 1. Okay, remember, the guy on top is always your whole number. Your denominator will never change. It's going to be 4. It was 4 here. Remember, we put 4 on the outside here. And what's left over goes on top. Okay? So your final answer is 2 1/4. Okay? Easy. Number 3. Okay, guys, here's number 3. The first thing we're going to do is utilize our strategy, keep, change, flip. So let's do that. We're going to keep 3/4. We're going to change the division into multiplication. And we're going to flip our second fraction or use the reciprocal. Okay? It's a nice, juicy fraction multiplication problem at this point. You can multiply straight across. And you get 30 over 36. Okay? Now, we don't have an improper, but we need to find the GCF of 30 and 36. No problem. So 30, I've got 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 15, oh, I should have put 10 there, guys, I'm sorry. Don't make the same mistakes I do. 15 and 30. That's a lot. They're getting a little bit more complicated, folks. 36, I have 1. Let's see. 2. I have 3. Ooh, I think I have 4. Right? Yeah. And then this is going to be, let's see here. I know 36 is here. I know 9 is here. I know 8. Oh, we have 6 times 6 too. So 6 is here. There's a lot. Okay. Let's see, I'm missing something. 3 times 3 is 1, 2, 12. Duh, Chaparro. Okay, so there are your factors. As you can see, folks, our GCF is 6. It's not 1, it's not 2, it's not 3, it is 6. So what that means is I'm going to take the fraction 30 over 36 and divide the top and the bottom by our GCF, which is 6. And you end up with 5, 6. This, my friends, 5, 6 is your final answer. There you go. Easy does it. Okay, guys, go ahead and hit pause here. Do number 4 on your own. It's all you. I'll be checking it. Okay, guys, so I'm going to move on to the next page where they start you off with story problems. So here's number 5. We are practicing division. Don't get scared now. Let me show you how this works with story problems. So make sure you have your highlighter handy because we're going to highlight a few things. It says Mrs. Frank prepared 30 cups of chicken noodle soup. Oh, 30 cups of chicken noodle soup. For the students at Northwood Middle School, If each bowl contains half a cup of soup, how many bowls can she serve? Okay, so you know we're dividing. That's the lesson. So we're going to take 30 and divide it by 1/2. Okay, so let's use our strategy of keep, change, flip. That C is a little off-centered. Keep, change, flip. And when we do that, we get 30 times 2/1. Okay, don't get scared now. You know from the last lesson that when you have a whole number that needs to be multiplied, you put it over 1. No problem, excuse me. Now we can multiply straight across. So that's 60 okay, and then 1 times 1 is 1. So 60/1 is the same thing as 60. Okay, so you will get 60 bowls. I had to go back and read the problem. You'll get 60 bowls of soup. Okay, that's your answer, guys. Get it written down. Okay, number 6 coming up next. Okay, guys, here's number 6. Carlos. I have a brother-in-law named Carlos. Carlos needs to cut a board that is 12 feet long into sections that are 3/4 of a foot long. How many sections will he be able to cut from the board? Okay, so just real quick, I'm not going to bore you with this too long, but I want you to see what he's doing. So this is the board, and it's 12 feet. Okay, from here to here, it's 12 feet. It measures 12 feet. He wants to make equal sections that are 3/4 long. Okay, so I'm going to go back and highlight my 12 feet too because that's important. So that means that we're taking 12 and we are going to divide it by 3/4. Okay, we're going to use our strategy. Keep, change, flip. And when we do that, you remember that this 12 needs to go over a 1 because we've learned that in a previous lesson. The division becomes multiplication, and you flip your fraction upside down, which is called the reciprocal. You now multiply across, and you get 36/3. Now we have a problem. This is improper. So when it's improper, we regroup. That means that we make a division house, set everything up. 3 will go into 36. 12 times 3 is 36. You subtract 36, and when you get 0 on the bottom, you all should remember by now that it means your answer is what's on top. It's 12. It's just the whole number 12. So that means he'll get 12 sections. Okay, that's your answer. Okay, I want you to try the next 2 in your book on your own. Don't be scared to try. Don't be scared to get them wrong. It's okay. That's how we learn. So, thank you so much for listening. Peace out. Be good students and just good people. See you later. Goodbye.